It started peaceful. Signs, chants, a crowd outside a facility, a federal facility at that, near Chicago. Minutes later, a war zone. Federal agents clash with demonstrators. They use non-lethal forces. This is the truth. The line drawn in the street. Watch how fast it flips.
More than 100 people gathered. Agents' use of tear gas, mace, pepper spray, and rubber bullets. In response, agents began firing pepper balls. Our crews on the ground also saw gas canisters tossed. Chicago.
Broadview, Illinois. Temporary ICE facility. It's an anti-ICE protest. What could possibly go wrong? The mission was simple, very simple. Protest ICE, make a statement. They were peaceful earlier. That was the baseline, but the expectations were stranded. Federal agents had formed a line. They knew what was coming.
More clashes tonight outside the ICE processing center in west suburban Broadview.
And federal agents pushing back against demonstrators marching near the facility.
ICE agents appeared to detain a protester Friday evening outside the Broadview ICE facility. Agents deployed tear gas to disperse the crowd.
The tools. Agents carried pepper balls, rubber bullets, gas canisters. Not just for show, they were used on camera. Proof. This wasn't theory. This was escalation. The shift began quietly, not with a chant, but with logistics. A vehicle needed access to the southwest entrance. Space had to be cleared. That clearance defined everything. The entire conflict. Agents moved in 2 feet apart, then closer. The crowd held their ground, blocking the entrance. The agents fired pepper balls, gas, rubber bullets. What happens when a line refused to break? Answer: the gas cloud hits. It cleared the people, pushed them back. But that was only the beginning.
Protesters and police clashed outside of an ICE facility in a Chicago suburb today. At one point, police used tear gas and pepper balls to disperse that crowd in Broadview, Illinois. The large crowd of protesters showed up before sunrise and stayed much of the day. Demonstrators are upset over the uptick in immigration enforcement in and around Chicago. The tense clashes come just days after a sniper opened fire at an ICE field office in Dallas, killing one detainee. Investigators say the gunman was targeting ICE agents.
The contradiction? Crowd screaming. No reason for that. But the reason was clear. Agents needed space. Then they needed to detain individuals. That's the lie. The pepper ball. Not paint, chemical irritant, explodes into gas, separates across the street. Rubber bullets, hard, heavy, shown on camera. The chance, predictable. But this time, it was paired with escalation. And that showed intent. And it showed contradiction.
This time, we're at a larger spot where more protesters have gathered. It's essentially a face-off, a standoff between this line of protesters. As you can see, many of them also wearing gas masks and other personal protective equipment.
Wait, hold on. After gas, after pepper balls, after detentions, you'd think they go home. Nope, they didn't. They waited. The numbers grew. Masks appeared. This wasn't a convention. This was a performance. Loud. Protesters came for confrontation, not just statements.
These are just innocent cars coming through too. These are people that just work in this general facility. Watch this, you'll see the crowds part. The protesters here have no problem with these people. Look, they just let them go right on through. But if this was, say, a law enforcement vehicle or maybe an ICE vehicle, I don't think you would expect to see the part in the same exact way.
Look at the aftermath. Agents from ICE, agents from Border Patrol. They created space. They pushed demonstrators back, way down the road. But the crowd, still intent, still waiting. Some on the ground, hit by the gas, hit by the rubber bullet. The cost was real. The agents acted with precision. They used all means necessary, non-lethal force. This was the plan. Clear the entrance, secure the perimeter, hold the line. These are all the rules. The crowd. The different rules. The confrontation. Shouting of fascists. Refusing to leave. There's a clear difference. One side follows command, the other follows chaos. What side are you on? What side would you follow? They confuse exposure with effectiveness. Seeking conflict is not the same as securing change. The agents secure the perimeter. The rioters only secure the noise. The lesson is etched in the pavement. Peaceful intent is not a shield. The line will always be held. If you were there that day, the temporary ICE facility on Broadview, tell me exactly the moment it shifted. Tell me the moment the peaceful protest died and the conflict began. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Please, always remember, be safe, stay informed, and engage.